All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 16 of the Mainstream Mayhem podcast. There's a lot of shit to talk about. We're here with Rossi. We're here with Gio. I mean, we got to start off with Wonka, right? Like, everybody.
Oh, yeah, we have to.
We've all seen the trailer.
Yeah,
I'll give my 2 cents
sadly.
really quickly. Who asked for this? Who the fuck was in the studio being like,
No
you know
one.
what we need? A Wonka prequel. Gio, put your hand down. Don't you put your hand down. Put your hand down.
I don't want to see that shit.
Dude, I watched the trailer. Look, it looks like a good time. And just from the sense of like it's a Christmas, it's coming out in December. It's gonna work. It's going up against Aquaman. Everything I've heard about Aquaman sounds fucking awful, by the way. And Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa was easily the best part of that trailer. I could buy into that.
I will stand by you on that. Absolutely.
Yeah. It looks like like the movie itself, the landscape of it seems like they spent a lot of money on it. But Timothée Chalamet casted as Wonka. I got a problem with him, man. I don't think he fits that role at all. Like, it just seems...
Does he fit a role, period? Because I will say no. Because I will be the one to die on my hill, maybe. I know he's an up-and-coming actor, I guess. I don't think so. I don't like him. I have not been impressed by anything. No, I did not watch Dune. I know people are going to be like, well, how do you know? I don't want to be bored for 2.5 fucking hours. Like...
See, I watched it.
Sorry.
I did not watch it sober, though, and I loved it. But I also think it's because I was just so stoned at that moment, and the music is so trippy that I was like, this fucking rocks. Mooney, though, producer / fiance, hated the fucking movie. She was like, this is the most boringest movie
I stand by
ever seen.
Her, yeah.
And she fell asleep, and she was sober as hell. She just knocked out. And I'm just like, this is great. I had no idea what happened.
I just don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the plot. Yeah, like, and I've had people try to explain the plot. It's like fucking Donnie Darko to me. Growing up and people trying to explain the deepness and fucking the story or true meaning behind Donnie Darko, there's no meaning. It's a boring ass movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and a fucking bunny rabbit. I don't want to hear it. I'm now 30 years old. I'm now 30 years old and I don't want to fucking hear it. Like, I don't care. So Dune honestly is about the same. So actor Timothy Chalamet, yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him for Wonka. Not to take away what you were saying too. No, who asked for this?
Yeah.
Who really? And I will obviously be the probably I hopefully feel like amongst us, Wonka should never be brought up in any conversation other than Gene Wilder in the original movie. It was phenomenal. It was creepy. It was weird. It was cool. It was so many different things for the time, and I believe absolutely it still holds up in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I was not a fan of the Tim Burton version with Johnny Depp. A lot of people, surprisingly, at least in my opinion, of our age group, I know were fans of it. And that's fine. It was very different, in my opinion, but fine. That was a different version. Maybe it worked for some. Maybe it didn't work.
I think that what worked for that one was that Depp at least was as weird.
And yeah, absolutely.
He fit the role of Wonka more than Timothée does. Like, you could get the vibe, and it's and that all that stuff. Burton's like just he could work with it. It was like a match made in heaven for those two. But yeah, it doesn't compare to the original. Nothing ever will. So that's why I'm like, I don't understand them going with Timothée, because I'm like, as great. I think he's a decent actor. A lot of people think he's great. I liked him also in the French Dispatch, which he was pretty good in that movie. So Wes Anderson film, pretty trippy.
I know which one.
Yeah, it's the one with Bill Murray. It's really fun.
I didn't get to see that. I thought Bill Murray was in that one. Yeah, I didn't get to see that one. Yeah. Okay.
So that's the one movie where I'm like, I could see where they're coming from, where they saw him in that, because he's kind of eccentric and like over the top in that film. Okay. But you watch the trailer, man. Some of the delivery of the lines is just like it doesn't fit him, and I'm like,
did you cringe as much as I did when he said the stop, rewind,
revert?
Scratch?
Yeah,
I
know.
I was
somebody
so mad.
showed it that they did it in the original.
Yeah,
and I'm like, but it's not the same. It's all about delivery, and I don't even know if I could blame Timothée. I don't know if I could blame him for that. Maybe I feel like he just took the job. It's obviously a big film. It's gonna make money, or they hope so. Who fucking knows at this point? Yeah. Who knows what movie can make money at that other than Barbie?
I was about to say,
what's gonna make money anymore?
Barbie, baby.
Yeah, Barbie, dude. Barbie is
Barbie gang, dude.
Like a bunch of fucking money, dude. That movie's gonna.
Can't wait to go see that movie.
Anybody's surprise, though.
Yeah, I mean, no, dude. That cast.
No,
I mean,
they had a freaking gala, and I was like, it's just a movie.
They have done.
Yeah, dude,
and in this time of day, in this day and age of everything going on with the film industry, they have been marketing like fuck for that film.
Oh yeah, dude.
And
that's what made me laugh because they're comparing the marketing to Barbie and Oppenheimer, and I'm like, what the hell do you want Oppenheimer to do? Drop a nuke?
Yeah.
You want to bomb Hiroshima again? To be like, by the way, Christopher Nolan's movie comes out in just a few months. Like, dude, like, there's nothing that they could do other than being like another Nolan movie. I mean, that's all they could do. Barbie, they can market the fuck out of that, and they've done such.
Which also, I'm like, are people really saying they're not marketing? I see a fucking commercial for Oppenheimer.
I think because like Barbie has like a burger at Burger King now. They built the Barbie Dream House in Malibu. They literally
fine.
I guess stuff like that, like the little things.
But like you said, what are they gonna fucking do at a restaurant? Be like, oh, the waiter runs over and throws a fucking plane at your goddamn like food. Like, I'm sorry, that might offend some people. Like,
well, that's the 9/11 movie. They haven't made it yet.
What
are they gonna do? Like,
starring Pete Davidson, right?
Right, yeah. Pete Davidson.
He makes all the jokes. He makes all the jokes himself. Yeah. We can make one for him.
Angelina.
That's fair.
Oh,
Angelina.
Yeah. So like with Wonka, just quickly, I don't get the acting or the casting choice at all. The director, he was trying to back it up by saying that he chose Timothée because he watched Timothy's high school musical plays on YouTube, which I'm like, that's weird, bro.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear that it was his plays. It was him as like a little rapper. Like he was doing his own little raps on stage.
Yeah.
And that was what he was like, oh, this was amazing because he played a character. I'm like, okay, but circle back to how you just said that. You're a grown-ass adult searching up high school kid stuff, and you're like, that's going to be my Wonka. That's my Willie. I can't wait to cast him. And you're like,
that's the Wonka.
You're like, wait. And then even more, that's weird. Obviously, I think we're all in agreement. That's pretty fucking weird casting wise for anybody.
Yeah.
The arguably worst part is he also said that he did not have to audition for this role. He just gave the role to him. Yeah, so how many other young actors, how many other actual Tom Hollands do you think wanted to actually try out for this role and we're like, nope, we're giving it to Sandboy. Like he's fucking hanging out in Dune again.
So people were talking about that too, being like, what actor out there would be fine to play Wonka? A lot of people are bringing up the guy from The Bear and Shameless.
Because of the hair.
Well, he looks like Gene Wilder, man. Like
he does look. Yeah.
If they did a biopic on Gene, he would be the perfect casting choice.
I was gonna say they should do that. Yeah. Like don't make him play like a young
just
Wonka, like a young version. Have him play a young Gene Wilder.
And even then, if he was casted as Wonka, I can't see him do
he's not
Wonka either.
He seems more, and respect to him, he seems more like a serious actor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this would, in my opinion, if they did cast him, it would be completely out of like left field to be like, really? Like I get it for look wise, sure, but okay, let's hear him sing fucking some songs, man. Like I don't think so. It's look wise alone.
As weird as it sounds, I would actually want him to be like a darker Wonka. As weird as that sounds,
like an evil Wonka,
that he commits to just killing children.
Yeah,
that's all part of his master plan.
So it's actually that's what we should be pitching to the guy that made the Winnie the Pooh movie. Have him do a fucked up version Wonka. Yeah, I don't know why.
That'd be crazy.
Money.
I mean, that might work.
And we'll cast Johnny Depp in it, so it's full circle. It's just his point, Wonka
Johnny's
just
taking
fell off like
right now.
I mean,
and he should be taking it. Yeah, he should be. I have a choice for Wonka though. He's too old to play him at this point. But if they were to do it years later, Paul Dano would have been a creepy, weird Willy Wonka.
Okay, yeah, and I mean,
I feel like he can pull it off,
Obviously,
man. I feel like he's had scenes where he gets like so over the top, where it's like it comes
but
off as
again,
creepy. But
are we going that like horror Wonka or like
I mean, I would do it just like the version they're doing now because it would just become off creepier. You know what I mean? Because like at this point, like nobody wants to see this. Nobody really cares for the Wonka
no,
prequel.
I
Gotta
don't
have
believe
somebody that's gonna stand out and at least be like, oh, okay, I'll go check it out because apparently they did some like weird ass performance that's at least watchable to that extent. Um,
I I also feel like we watched the prequel like in the what was Johnny
I was
Depp
gonna
one.
say that. I was
yeah,
about to say that.
yeah,
Yeah,
he had the whole like
because
Halloween thing, didn't he? Where he got a bunch of candy. His dad was the dentist. Like he was.
his dad played by the late great Christopher Lee.
Yes, yeah. So like that was
So
the prequel for him, and also the whole thing with
yeah,
with Wonka was like the mystery of Wonka, like how like he just was
yeah.
in his little factory of chocolate, never to be
Well,
seen until the golden ticket situation happened.
and you brought up, and we'll get to, like we said earlier, the easily the best part of the trailer and probably the best part of the movie, Hugh Grant as
Mhm.
the Oompa Loompa. To where I'm like, so are you the original Oompa Loompa? Are all of them going to look like you? Because again, in the original, the Oompa Loompas were not identical clones. You had
No,
little
yeah,
fat ones, you had little like skinny ones. Like they were all just
they're like minions.
little people. You know, you got to be safe. You can't call them the M word. That's very very fucking hurtful. They're little people, guys. Come on, 2023. But
Read
like
your handbook.
so
Read your
yeah.
handbook.
So like Hugh Grant, he did seem very funny, and that scene worked immediately, in my opinion. That scene saved the entire fucking trailer.
That felt more Wonka to me than anything else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the moment where I'm
So
like, he might be the
the
saving grace of this film, but I do not see myself rushing to a movie theater to
no,
watch this film.
and my nitpicking, and again, I go deep into this, but this is going back to my childhood. The original, like the writer, I always butcher his name, Roald Dahl or something like that, of
Mm.
Willy Wonka and then James and the Giant Peach. All those books he wrote in the original book, I remember them saying like Wonka traveled to like some fucking exotic like village and found the Oompa Loompas, and honestly made it always sound like he just kidnapped a bunch of fucking dwarfs and brought them to a
Yeah.
goddamn chocolate factory to sing to a bunch of kids that are almost dying by fucking up, trying to steal shit or drink chocolate. Like, so in the trailer, he says like, "Oh, you're the little guy that's been following me." And I'm like, "Well, okay, obviously, I guess you got to change the story."
And
But also, I'm like,
now that I remember it, in the Depp movie, they showed them meeting too. He's in the
Yeah,
jungle.
yeah.
"That's
And
right."
they're the ones that had the chocolate
Yeah.
with
Hmm.
them.
Yeah, he's in the
So
jungle wearing his like safari outfit, and like that's when he meets them. Like he tells them the whole story how he met the Oompa Loompa. So that again, like I'm like, we've had it
That's
already. Like,
funny. Yeah.
what are we
yeah,
Damn,
doing?
it's a prequel.
I hate Tim Burton so much, but did he actually read a fucking book finally? Like, damn, I gotta give him like the man that swore he would never read a fucking comic book in his life, and he finally just picked up
It's
Charlie and the
funny. What's
Chocolate
funny about
Factory.
that too is I just watched the interview on TikTok of Gene Wilder being like very upset about the Johnny Depp Wonka movie. Pretty much,
Oh yeah,
he was like, I'm fine with Depp being Wonka. He's a fantastic actor. Like I have faith in him. He's like, I'm just not a fan of Tim Burton. I'm not a fan of the way he directs. I'm not a fan of the way he tells stories. He was like, I
that's
don't think they're gonna
awesome.
do a good job. And I'm just like, oh, wow.
So
Wow.
I always knew he gave respect to Johnny on it, but I
Yeah.
knew he was upset. I didn't know he was like upset about Tim Burton. That's
Yeah,
the
he didn't
cherry on
mention he
top.
doesn't mention Burton by name. He's just like that director. I'm just not a fan of his work. Is not something I go to see at the movies. And I'm just like,
He's like,
damn,
fuck him and fuck Danny Elfman too. Like you're like, well, hold on, man. Like,
fuck that
Whoa,
composer
whoa.
who that ginger steroid using
yeah,
asshole.
that
Dude, he is
fucker that
buff as
looks
shit, bro. I've seen a picture of
he
him.
does not look real.
He's dude,
He
he looks
looks
like a
like
Tim Burton character on
he look
steroids.
yeah. He looks like how Carrot Top wishes he fucking looked.
Yeah. Like if
And
you
you're
put
like,
Carrot Top and
oh
him in the same room, you're just like, which is the composer? Which one's the fucking
yeah.
comedian? Like I can't fucking distinguish between the two of
Like,
them,
I don't
bro.
know. You're both weird, but like Carrot Top, your face looks like it's gonna fucking fall off any second.
Dude, that's like something melt off his face.
Yeah.
I know it's just like scalpel. You just want to.
Like, bro, do you have like a staple gun to just like make sure you can Joker that face back together? Like,
Staple it on to like you can see the flesh still, but it's like it's whatever, man. You're still wearing the orange ass hair. It's like
he's like, come on, man, I got props. And you're like, I don't know what kind of comedian you are, but I'm not laughing.
And he's still
feel really
and
bad.
he's still killing it in Vegas. That's the thing that makes me like, how is Carrot Top still like a main attraction in Las Vegas?
He doesn't know. He's very confused to this day too, I think.
He's like, I'm not supposed to be here.
He's like, I don't know what the fuck you people are doing here, but thank you.
What would be interesting when Wonka comes out and all these other movies when they do drop is like when they have these premieres, it's just how are they going to have them? None of the actors are going to show up. They're not allowed to.
Well, and that depends on how long this strike goes on for.
Fuck, dude. I think this might be a minute before we see any anything happen. Like the studios have their heads so far up their asses right now. Like Bob Iger did it.
Fran Drescher coming out and yelling at you. You know you did something.
You got the
wrong.
nanny being like, "You guys suck." I'm like, dude, the nanny's yelling
at you with her fucking voice.
I'm like, bro, that she's killing it, man. I'm like, I didn't even know she was the president. I didn't find out.
I did not. No, I was like, you could have fucking fooled me on that one for the rest of my life. I would have never guessed.
Did you guys see that statement they came out with today about like they're gonna wait until they lose their apartments and stuff?
Yeah, dude, the studios are fucking full of shit, man.
Dark. Like
Bob Iger did an interview yesterday, man. And he just sounded like such a fucking idiot. Where he's like, man, well, they're being unreasonable. And like they want their demands, they just don't make sense. It's like, Bob, you just exceeded your contract. You pushed your contract to 2026 to ensure that you're gonna make billions of dollars. And you're telling the guys and the women that make these films and shows possible that they're out of their mind. And then the one that fucking blew my mind, and I have it on my phone right here, is that they want the use of AI. And we've talked about in the past, bro. The use of their AI was not made to do shit like this. Like people are like getting way too adjusted to like using AI. They want to use it for everything. Like a lot of people like on the internet are using AI to like fix certain movies. I'm like, those movies don't need to be fixed. They tried to use it like the other day for like an Indiana Jones Temple of Doom.
I saw that.
Fuck out of here. There's a reason.
The scene expanded.
Yeah. I'm like, there's a reason why Spielberg didn't extend that scene. It's because it looks better like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just there's stuff that they're using it for, like the artistic way. Where I'm like, that's not the way it's supposed to be, bro.
Not to cut you off, and I'll keep you going too from this, but like it's so funny the things that we all see on social media these days, where everything pops up, everything is fucking like that is current is just so quick to see. And like that is true that like it's just people are going crazy with this shit now. Keep going with it because it's nuts, man.
Yeah, it's just the AI thing is ridiculous. But the studio's AI proposal to the actors, was what they want to do is they want to scan background actors' likeness for one day. For one day, they want these background actors to show up.
I saw this.
Get completely scanned. Get paid for that one day. And then moving forward, after being scanned, the studio could use their likeness forever in any form without any extra pay or consent. So if you're a background actor or an extra, you would show up to the studio. They will scan you like NBA 2K. They would then be able to use your image and throw you into any fucking movie, commercial, show for the rest of their lives. And you would not get paid for that. You would not get royalties for that. You would get one day pay. That's the fucking proposal that they're giving these.
Can you put it on your Can you put it on your Can these people put all those shit
like on their resume?
I don't be like, but I was in it.
But the problem is it's going to be hard for them to even find out where they're being used at because they're not going to get credited for it. It's not that they're going to be like extra too. Like you're just going to have to like relinquish all your rights for one day pay. Like if you're going to give them royalty checks for using them every single time, I can get behind that a little bit. Even though I think the use of AI is kind of scary. But if you're going to continually pay them, like when they play a song, that certain singer, if they have the rights to their song, gets the royalty check sometimes. Even same with movies, et cetera, et cetera. That's how that works. But if they're just going to take your image and just plaster you wherever the hell you want, and then you don't get anything from it, you just get a one-day paycheck, like that's a slippery slope, man. That's the type of thing where I read that and I'm like, this thing's not going to get solved anytime soon. I think this is going to keep on trucking through. We're not going to get shit unless they're in the UK. Anything that's being filmed in the UK is safe. So like House of Dragons, that's safe. We will get season 2.
Oh, so people have to fucking go to the UK to do it then?
Essentially, yeah, because their rights over there are completely different from over here. So like,
if
all
actors
those stuff will be fine there.
So if movies like current movies like Deadpool, if they were to move the entire production to the UK right now,
Yeah.
during this going on, they would be able to start production.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that they don't have that many major studios over there. So like
Okay.
you would literally at this point would already have to have that set up.
Yeah.
Like you would already have to have that
Damn.
space locked up to be like, we're gonna do this at that stage or whatever. Like, but mostly like Deadpool is getting filmed here.
Yeah,
Like, there's a
yeah. No,
bunch of stuff
I
that's
just meant like I
but
wasn't
if they
sure if
wanted
like
to, yeah, sure.
I wasn't sure if that meant like obviously everything's going on currently right here. If they were even allowed to get up and go. Obviously, it's not like they're mandated to stay. I was just curious about the ruling in the sense of being like, well, no, you're in the middle of this shit. You can't just up and leave. Or
So
if
they
they're like,
can.
fuck you, I'm leaving.
They
Yeah.
could absolutely do that, but the problem is, yeah, they could just see out them. The problem with that is still the actor has to decide at that point. Then,
True. Yeah.
do they want to stick
absolutely there's a
with
lot. Yeah.
the other actors and picket the fence
Yeah.
and say fuck them? I'm not working for them at all. Like when the news dropped that they were going into a strike, they were doing the premiere of Oppenheimer in the UK, and like all the actors left at the premiere. They all dipped out.
Oh shit.
All of
Okay.
them. Like they were just like F this, we're out. And they left. And like Christopher Nolan was like, well, I don't blame them. They're not getting paid like they're supposed to be paid. So like he's like, I don't
Yeah.
have it was funny because Nolan was like, my main writer's not here and all my actors aren't here. And it's just me. And because I have to show the movie. I have to make the money back for the studios. Like I have to commit. It's like I wish I could go with them, but it's not my fight, which is true. He's a director.
No, very true.
It's not a him problem, but it is because like whatever project you are looking forward to moving forward, it's gonna be a while till we see that, man. Like they just postponed Wicked again. Wicked was supposed to come out when Aquaman came out. They've been postponing that movie for like years now, and they're finally getting to the finish line, and then boom, they have to stop production. And it's like
I forgot that shit was even being made.
That was like another like big thing where it's like all these movies, Deadpool being one of them, a lot of hit shows like The Last of Us season 2 might not come out for another 3 years now because they're like projecting it from how long it's going to take for all this shit to get back into order. It's just a lot of them feel like the studios, they could just use AI and it's the cheapest option for them. They rather just go that route, which I'm like, that's sketch, man. That's really sketchy.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the fucked up part, but like truth, like it is cheaper for them. But that doesn't mean it's okay. It'd be different if these actors were like, oh yeah, fuck it, I don't want to work. Here's my likeness, pay me, see you tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, fine. But that's not the case. They're literally being like, no, we're just not going to ask you. And if we want to have a fucking buddy cop movie with Alec Baldwin and fucking the ghost of Patrick Swayze, I don't know why that's my buddy cop comedy. It's a comedy. It's a comedy now too. Can't not have that.
The ghost of Patrick Swayze has to be a
comedy. The ghost of and in the movie, it's actually he's not just the likeness; it's his ghost likeness, and he's hanging out with fucking Alec Baldwin. I guess Alec Baldwin could easily be switched out for like Mel Gibson, someone else easily like not trusting in any fucking way.
That the movie's never going to be finished because they're just going to be a diva about the entire fucking time.
Yeah, they're going to get in trouble for saying some hateful shit, and no one's really going to be surprised because
or accidentally shoot somebody,
them. Or accidentally, the common shit.
One or the other. No, yeah, man, I'm with it's the first time since 1960 that the actors and the writers are both on strike against the studios, and I'm just like, that's insane to me, man. That's like, well. Somebody brought a quote up yesterday. Spielberg apparently predicted this 10 years ago.
I saw that shit posted, I think last night too.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, yeah, Spielberg knows the fuck is he talking about. He's been doing this for
at least it wasn't The Simpsons again, since everybody's like, well, The Simpsons predicts everything. This time it was Spielberg. So you're like, all right, yeah, there's some fucking truth to that then. Like, no, I saw that too, and it's very eerie because you're like, he obviously was speaking from what he hoped wouldn't happen, but he also had a feeling of what the fuck could happen. So it's like, it's not that crazy to think. It's just very
and knowing that he's been in the business, he probably saw the road that it was leading to. And he's like, this is going to happen. Talking though about movies getting postponed, Deadpool, they stopped production. Thoughts on the Wolverine costume though?
Awesome. We just don't need the sleeves, but I mean, I don't give a. If I have to take the sleeves to take the fucking suit, I'll take it. I don't give a fuck. Other than that, yeah, nitpicky. I think it looks cool. I mean, and that's what's funny. I'm like, before they even said, "Oh, Wolverine's gonna, don the original, the true fucking costume and everything," I still was sold. And even if they wouldn't have put him in the costume in some way, I don't think that would have made me not enjoy a fucking movie with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together in some form. And then you throw in the idea that like they really are gonna take the same way that, and obviously I guess it's in bad form to bring up the Flash movie anymore because we're like some of the only fans of it, clearly. Um, it's the same sense as Flash took the Flashpoint storyline and made their own version of it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like they're gonna very loosely take the storyline of Deadpool kills the universe
Mm-hmm.
and almost make it Deadpool kills the Fox universe.
Yeah, 20th Century
Because
Fox,
the 20th Century Fox, yeah. So, and who knows how they'll do it, but either way, I'm like, I'm still sold.
yeah.
But costume alone, obviously minus the mask so far. I'm like a kid. I'm like, this is fucking cool. This is what I wanted in the original X-Men, at least once. And we
Yep.
never got it. So I've waited long the fuck enough.
Well, yeah, Brian
Like,
Singer was
feel
just
you on that. I
Yeah,
feel
he
you
was
on
like,
that.
nope.
Only because I'm a big Deadpool fan, so this is like this is the one I've been waiting for too. After I heard that, when I saw that Fox thing down, I was like, oh yeah, he's about to kill everything.
Yeah, it's
So
gonna be pretty sick, man. Because they're bringing back, obviously, Ben Affleck's Daredevil will be back.
I mean, allegedly, have they technically? And I know some people would say yes to some, no to some. Have they actually signed anybody for sure?
Jennifer
Or
Garner's for sure.
is
Yeah.
for sure? Okay, so
She's
I've
for
seen
sure.
that posted, but I still was like, is that for like
Yeah,
dotted fucking line? Okay,
she's on for sure, which makes me think that Ben is for sure as well.
yeah,
Just because it's gonna be easier for them to work on that with also having kids. It's gonna be
very
like
true.
their
And
own little thing.
it seems like they're already on decent or
Yeah, they're on good
whatever you
terms.
read, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you read on the news, it seems like as of recent they were on decent
And I think
terms.
it just works out for the both of them. They got their kids on set. Like it makes sense for them
Yeah, I'm
for him
sure.
to come back to close that out. But especially after the whole Flash Batman thing.
Yeah,
Of the rumored ones, the ones I have heard that are for sure, but it's not like confirmed would be Xavier Magneto, the old versions of them. So
Yeah.
the original from the original X-Men, the original Cyclops, the original Storm. I had heard the original Beast, but I haven't really heard much more of that. I just heard it like
but Kelsey Grammer,
yeah.
I heard
that
the
would be
younger
fucking cool.
these too.
I
Yeah.
don't want the younger one. If you're bringing back Beast in any form, I want Kelsey fucking
I had
Grammer.
heard it would be Kelsey Grammer that they
That
want
would
because
be
they want
fucking amazing.
if you were a fan of the early 2000s comic book movies,
And that is the Fox movies.
this is what's going to be. Like you're going to get
Young Beast wasn't until the remake. So.
Yeah, so they want Jessica Alba's Fantastic Four. They want Chris Evans to
That
play
would be
Human Torch
hilarious
again.
too.
They want Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider.
I fucking want it, dude.
They want the whole thing, dude. Like, and that's gonna be.
I want Nicolas Cage in every role.
Oh yeah.
Ever. I don't care what it is,
Bro. That would be awesome if we got to see him as Superman, and then fast forward now we get to see him as Ghost Rider again. It's like we just checked off all the boxes.
There.
I'm there.
I'm done.
I already got my money. They just announced today though. Still kind of a rumor, but I'm pretty sure it's true. The Deadpool dog version will be in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, the Deadpool dog the variant of that will be in this film. It's just gonna be a fucking acid trip, man. And I'm like, they're gonna have a good time with it. I'm not gonna go into this movie expecting like some fucking Oscar performance. I just want to see them have fun, have a fucking silly goose time. Just to see them fight each other is already gonna be good enough. And like you said, Rossi, like it's just the fact that it's Wolverine and Deadpool. And it's all Wolverine. It's the Wolverine we grew up with. We thought it was over after Logan. We're bringing him back into the fold. He's finally getting the iconic suit. I hope at some point he uses the claws to just rip off the sleeves. Because I'm like, come on, man.
I know. I've seen people say that.
He's so ripped. Why would you cover the arms? I'm like, just let him have it. Like, who gives it? Just give him the gloves. Hopefully he does get the mask, helmet, whatever. And it just sounds like it's gonna be one of those like insane fucking movies, man, where it's like you just go into it without any expectations. You just get blown away. Like I love the idea of the whole 20th Century Fox thing, especially now that Disney owns them and they could just do whatever the hell they want. I had heard that the finale would be them ending up in a different universe that might be the MCU. That's what I That
I mean,
like,
it makes sense for Deadpool. I don't know if I see Wolverine even sticking around because it's like I highly doubt he really does want to come back in any other bigger form.
yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna like kill him off, but I could see him going to like I could see Deadpool going to the MCU because it makes complete sense moving forward. I could see them either putting Wolverine in another one or saying like
Well, because
he
the
gets
plot
to go
I've
live,
heard,
you know,
what's that group in Loki? What's it called? A TSA, right? So
the
they
TVA or something.
TVA, whatever that
TVA.
TVA. There you
Yeah.
go. They're the ones that captured Deadpool and Wolverine at first in the beginning of the film.
I think I
Because
read that. I think I read
they're
that too. Yeah.
they're like Deadpool's time jumping. He runs into Wolverine. They start time jumping to like different places, which is where you're going to see some of these heroes at. They come in, they arrest them, and I think they throw them into like a random planet as like punishment. And then the main villain, from what I have heard, will be the Sentinels. That's what I have
That'd
heard.
be cool.
Yeah, and then that's how they kind of at the end. Owen Wilson's also in this as well, which is another.
I had heard
like,
that.
so at some point,
Are the Sentinels
if
if they bring the Sentinels though, I want like full on like comic version,
like
cartoon
the
version. Like
purple,
they tried doing a little bit the
yeah.
purple and like bluish,
What was
like
that? Was it
yeah,
Days of
like
Future
I
Past, or was
want
it the next
that.
one after that?
I think Days of Future Past. I
Yeah.
think the weird ones.
And
Right?
it was weird. It was and like in the it was like the 70s or 80s when like it was going on.
Yeah.
That version of them didn't look too bad. But yeah, when it was like the future ones, I was like, the fuck is this weird ass like Terminator
Oh,
bullshit?
like this
Like
the all silver
I just
one
didn't
that just
like it.
like
I'm like,
yeah, it was weird. It was
yeah,
just do the
where they were
original
like
ones.
taking their powers. Yeah, I'm like, no, this is too much. And I got it. It's like it's in the future, but I'm like, fuck no, dude,
Well,
going too far with it now.
we'll get to see this Deadpool movie probably in 2028. But all this
Right?
shit clears up. The final two things I want to talk about though, and Gio, I know you'll love this one: the Brittney Spears versus Victor Wemby.
Yeah.
I know this is like a week old news, but I've been dying to fucking talk about this because
And I had
The
asked you
Britney
prior
army's gonna come
to
at us,
recording.
dog.
I didn't.
bro.
I know, dude. Hey, I got you guys back because I will let you guys take more of this because I'd asked, Hollywood before we started
Yeah,
what team he was from because I wasn't sure, and you said
yeah.
he got drafted to the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got you. So, just
That's
backstory, just to like
yeah,
clean all that stuff for
drafted the
people that might
Spurs.
not know,
Okay,
is that
yeah.
okay? Victor Wemby, 19-year-old phenom, 7'3", dude's like
Fuck, I did not know he was
oh
19.
yeah, he just got
Oh my
drafted.
god.
He's
Never mind.
from
Okay.
yeah, he's 19 years old from France, gets
Okay.
drafted, has to come to Vegas because after you get drafted in the NBA, you have to play in Summer League, which is in Las Vegas. So he comes to Las
Okay.
Vegas as a member of the Spurs
I
security.
didn't know that. I didn't know that either. All right.
Yeah. So it's like the whole thing like lines up, which is why I felt so bad for this kid, man, because it's like, this is like his coming to America moment. He shows up in Vegas. The kid's probably thinking like, man, like we just sold out the T-Mobile arena just because of me, because I'm playing basketball and everybody wants to see me play basketball, which is insane. I'm from France. I'm not used to this. Blah, 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 blah. So he checks into his hotel room, and this is Brittney Spears' side that she saw him in the hotel room first, like the hotel where they were staying at. And she didn't go up to him then. But then while he was going to dinner, she saw him again. So she says that she ran up to him and tapped him on the shoulder, which I'm also like, can she reach all the way up there? I don't know. I'm like, so yeah, she alleges that she did, and that when she did that, the security guard then turned around, smacked her. She fell to the floor and her glasses fell off. Now, this is Brittany's story. Victor's story was that somebody grabbed him from the back and security took care of it and he just walked away. Which I'm like, from what we've seen, it does look like he just walked away. It never looks like a moment where Victor's just like, what the fuck was happening? It looked like he was just kind of like, they'll handle it. I'm just going to keep walking straight, which is the smart play by him. I mean, he could have made that situation worse than 19-year-old. Like, come on, he's 19. So then the video drops. Las Vegas PD doesn't press charges on the San Antonio Spur security guy because the video eventually does drop. There's two angles. There's a cell phone footage that dropped, and then there's a surveillance one that hasn't been leaked online, but that was the one that the Vegas PD watched and determined that, like, we're not going to press charges. It doesn't seem like it was that big of a deal. And in this video, Victor is walking into a restaurant and a wild Britney Spears appears, chasing after the kid with a British accent of all fucking things. Like,
oh Christ.
And like pokes him on the back, and the security guard, without looking, you could just like swipes her hand away. Like exactly what I'm doing right now. He just does this.
Mm-hmm.
But he never turns away. He just does this. And when he does that, her hand hits her face. She doesn't fall. Her glasses don't break. She just stands there kind of stunned. And it's funny because the cell phone footage, the guy's like, is that Britney Spears? I'm just like,
she started saying, I did it again.
I don't think I heard the audio, but I had seen the cell phone footage. And yeah, the first thing to add to it, what the story is and everything, but to add from my viewing of it, yeah, no, she never fell.
No,
she didn't look like she got seriously hurt. And no, it wasn't like the security guard turned around and was like, "Who's touching,
and
my boy?" Who's
like that's what they alluded to that.
Sock someone, yeah. And I didn't even really pay attention, and maybe I'll go back and watch it now. I didn't even really look to see what the kid was doing or what his reaction was. But again, like you said, a 19-year-old from fucking France, coming here to play professional basketball in Las Vegas, in a new world in a lot of ways, and you're just walking through to get from you said he was going to a restaurant or leaving a restaurant?
He was going inside a restaurant.
Going inside, going to get some fucking food.
Yeah.
You're in a crazy place already. You're in a loud casino, hotel, everything. And yeah, you're probably not even paying attention to what's going on because you got 5 to 6 huge motherfuckers guarding you at all times. And when you do hear any little commotion, you're probably thinking, like you said, "Oh, my guy's got it."
Yeah,
if it's something serious, they're gonna cover me. If it's something little, they'll take care of it, and then we'll keep going. We'll get our food, probably.
You know what I mean? I don't think for one, I don't even know. I don't want to say he doesn't know who Britney Spears is, but I'm like, I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't.
But who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I would. He's
19 years old.
And
there's 19-year-olds that don't know anything about hold on. I'm not done with the statement, 19-year-olds yet. There's 19-year-olds nowadays that don't know the bands that we knew or the music that we knew at the age of, say, 13, 14. And to us, we hear that as like, that's fucking nuts. How do you not know?
Yeah.
Because they're raised in a different fucking generation. They have all kinds of new music, new movies, new everything that is overpowering all the shit that we knew. So now we sound like the old assholes that are like classic rock. And I'm like, it's from fucking 2004. Like, how classic can it be, But that's the same thing with this kid. Who knows what he fucking knows about American pop culture? And again, like you guys both said, yeah, maybe he can know the name, but what the fuck has Britney been relevant for other than been, I guess, technically being free? And you're like, well, is it the best thing that happened? And maybe I'll be the asshole that takes that. I'm like, I think it's great. Obviously, I don't think her father, out of all fucking people, should make the choices for a grown ass adult.
Her dad seemed like a weirdo all the time. Like,
absolutely.
I get that 100%. And I'm with you with that.
Like no fucking father or mother or parent or guard, whoever should have full control of a fully grown adult, especially someone that grew up in the spotlight that never really had a fucking childhood or teenage years or adult life. Because you're like, bro, when did you get to just sit down and fucking live? You had a camera on you 24/7. So now you're set free. And here's my only gripe. Maybe I'll get taken down by the Britney fans. I don't know. When you're set free and your only thing, hold on. Oh, I know. There's young and old, and they're everybody's gonna be angry at some point.
An army, bro. They're an army.
My only thing with Britney being set free now is when she does her like TikTok videos and all this stuff. I'm like, it doesn't necessarily seem like choreographed stuff. It kind of just seems like you're sure having fun, just chilling, whatever. I don't want to be that guy, but sometimes it could kind of come off as like you kind of seem like a little drunk and maybe you're just having fun. And still, who the fuck am I to say? I don't give a shit if that's what you do in your hobby. You're a famous person. I'm never going to have the money that you've ever had or ever seen in your lifetime. And also, I don't use social media like you do. So if your outlet is recording yourself dancing around kind of fucking shitty, I don't care. Go for it. Have fun. But also get ready for people online that are far worse than me to come after you for like the dumbest, littlest shit. That again, she can then be like, bro, who the fuck are you to say what I can and can't do?
No, yeah,
and you win because I'm like, you win, Brittany.
And that whole situation's like fuck because like I think she thinks still that she's Britney Spears. I'm pretty sure she's like he probably knows who I am.
She's never.
I was shocked.
I
was shocked that she thought she knew who he was. That was what I was.
Yeah.
Like, why would she even know who Victor?
Was kind of true.
Because she was like, I wanted to congratulate him for making it.
Because if you would have told me,
I'm like, whoa, I'm like, that's kind of all right, cool. Yeah, and I'm like, but
to me,
I don't think anybody was. I don't think anybody was right in that situation. I think Victor did the best he could. I don't think it was just like a weird situation where I'm like, you can't.
Again, big he as might she not is, have known anything was going on.
Yeah, but also I'm like,
he could have been completely oblivious.
You can't run up on people either with a British accent.
No,
just, like she literally could have just been at her table and came up to sent her management and be like, hey, can you talk to the security dude and tell him like it's Brittney Spears and I want to congratulate him.
Hey, it's Britney into the league. She wants to meet this 19-year-old for some reason.
And she walks up to him and you can meet them somewhere and you can make that happen between the security guards because I'm sure she has a bunch of security with her as well. And you could have made that situation so much better. Britney running up to him with a British accent is wild, dude. It's like, I'm like,
well, that's to say British accent or not.
I applaud her for not giving a fuck though.
Yeah, but as a celebrity, I would think the running up part is possibly the worst thing that she did because I'm like, when you know you're surrounded by security guards, why the fuck would you ever run up, regardless of being Brittney goddamn Spears? Like, you're still running up on dudes that their job is to protect the person that they're surrounding. Mm-hmm. So if she would have walked up and been like, "Excuse me, I'm fucking Brittney Spears," one of the security guards would have been like, "Oh shit, dude, that's Brittney Spears."
Yeah, and then you
maybe been like, "What do you want?"
You handle it differently.
What are you doing?
Go, you tell the security guard. The security guard goes to Victor. Is like, "Hey, do you know who Brittney Spears is?" And if he says, "I know," but they explain it to him, like she wants to just congratulate you for making it into the league. That's all.
Take a picture.
That entire situation doesn't happen. But if she's just like,
I was gonna say, I don't think any of those videos would have happened, or any of us would have been talking about it if she would have walked. Walk before you run, Brittany. Like,
or just don't have a British accent. That's not a thing where I can't get over. I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah, that's part.
I'm like, why are you British? He's French. Like,
someone also showed Brittany a goddamn map.
That's like, give him a snail or something. Why are you looking up in a French?
So maybe she did make two mistakes. She ran up, and then also she didn't know what fucking where countries are.
Like, come up. I mean, I can't blame her for that, man. Like geography, she's probably challenged in that aspect.
It's hard, man. I didn't do well in that field either.
Me neither. And she probably didn't know shit. And she was
I also don't run up on Frenchmen in fucking hotels.
Like 7'4" Frenchmen that are 19. They're just
expect them to be like, hey, this kid just wants to fucking meet you.
Dude, it's wild that actually happened. But I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think anybody was a winner in that situation. I do feel bad for a 19-year-old just from the aspect that anytime he has a bad game now, they are going after this kid. Like they are dropping.
It's because Britney, motherfucker.
Dude, they are going. He had this first game. I think he only dropped like 9 points. And he got dunked on that game.
You should just hug her, dude.
He got slammed on. And like the next morning, somebody had already like memed it into putting Britney's face on the guy that dunked on him. And I'm like, he's 19, man. And he wasn't even the one that did anything. I was like, the security guard was the one that slapped her hand away. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm
like, bro, it's that Britney army, man. Because right now I was even getting yelled at by my girl because she was like, "Oh, well, no, it was his fault."
But hey, I stayed. Whoa. Did I not stay at least neutral in the eyes of a Britney fan? I made my peace. I wasn't. I wasn't.
You sound like a Wemby fan there.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, I'm a fucking kid.
Whoa. See the
I didn't even know he's fucking 19 until 15 minutes ago.
No, her fan base goes hard, man. I respect that. They have her back big time, and that's.
Here's my final thing.
They're crazy.
Here's my final thing, and not just for the Britney fans or fan in the room. My final thing is for sure. I don't think the Las Vegas should have done nothing.
No, I'm glad
Britney was fucking really. See, I don't think I would say on the fence. I think something should have been done to the one security guard, probably not the kid, not the whole
not
team,
the kid.
and not no. I think the security guard that slapped away without at least turning to see who it was and who and why they were trying to get the security guard's attention and the kid. So arguably, I'm not a fucking security guard, so there's absolutely different rules and so that. But I would think again, you should always probably turn around, hopefully not thinking that immediately, because this is where I can argue it. If you turn around quick enough, hopefully they don't have a knife or a gun or a weapon. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I still would think you should have to turn to at least see and address who this person is who's trying to get your attention before immediately thinking, I gotta fucking sock them or swat them away
or any physical
or any physical,
like that.
So on that part, I think that one security guard should have gotten something, whether it was a slap on the wrist and some sort of fine. I think he, out of everything, should have gotten something. I think Brittney,
or at least I think it could have been squashed even easier. I think they should have invited her to the game.
Absolutely.
They should have like taken a picture together and been like, hey, complete misunderstanding.
Sorry. Yeah.
I wasn't aware of the situation. That thing got way overblown. But my final closing thing, if you would have ever told me that Brittney Spears and Victor Wemby would have an altercation at any point in their careers, I would have been like, absolutely, that's never gonna happen. But it happened. That's Vegas for you, man. Welcome to America, kid. Welcome. It's just getting started, bro. You're just getting started, homie. That was just the first taste of America for you. It's just gonna get worse.
Sadly, yeah, it's gonna get worse.
It's gonna get worse.
He's gonna get shit on.
It's off more like pop stars. It is not gonna get any better, dude.
Let's quickly end this and talk about the Jonah Hill thing very quick before we end this pod.
Oh my god! Speaking of pieces of shit, no, I don't know, man.
Rossi, you want to take it real quick and then we'll
Jonah Hill, yeah. So everybody's up to date on the Jonah news, right? And I'll fill the listeners in. So Jonah Hill now we found out, engaged to be married, and just welcomed his first child with this current girlfriend, fiance now. 2 years ago, his ex-girlfriend now posting screenshots of text messages and conversations, calling him out as narcissistic, abusive, manipulative, all kinds of fucking good shit. And the text messages, if you guys have seen it and anybody listening, he's fucking weird. He's an actor, so he's weird already. But he's weird in the sense that he calls it his boundaries. He calls it his rules. He doesn't want her, revealing pictures on Instagram. Well, she's a surf instructor. She's been a surf instructor before they were together. That is what seems to be what she wants to do in life, her career. And he's upset that she's showing her ass on Instagram, or skin, or revealing pictures that are,
mind you, they're pictures. There's pictures of her surfing. So like,
exactly, on a surfboard.
Yeah, they're not thirst traps. It's her doing her career.
It's her in the and then other messages are him saying you can't involving surfing. You can't go on surf dates with guys. And again, she's like, they're not surf dates. I'm teaching people to survive in the fucking water,
like that's how she makes
to also surf. Yeah, like, and there's a lot of back and forth of her kind of, not disrespectful to her, but like kind of buckling in the moment, because I think she wanted to at least be with this guy at the time. So she was like, this is fucking weird, but okay. And then until she got to the point where she's like, you know what? Now I don't know. And at the same time, Jonah still said, and I'm going back and forth, would say, if you don't agree to these rules and you don't agree to my boundaries, that's fine. You can go somewhere else. We can end it. No hard feelings. I don't hate you. You don't hate me. But you're just not the one for me. I'm not the one for you. So that being said, do you guys think Jonah is out of line by setting his boundaries, his rulings? And do you think she's right to air all the fucking dirty laundry, not only 2 years later, but in general? And this is the world we live in today also. So I've gone
back and forth with this one, because I'm like, every person's allowed to have I don't know if the word is boundaries. It's just like they deserve to know what they want in a
Well, yeah,
relationship.
absolutely.
And I feel like, and look, his boundaries or what he wants from her are fucking stupid. They're just the dumbest like list of things. Like, take this picture off. I don't want this picture. I don't like that. Granted,
Yeah,
yes, he does tell her like, and this is before I guess they got serious. Where it's like before we go into this romantic partnership, I think that's the word he used. If you can't do these things, then it's not going to work. And so we could just be cordial about it and be friends and move on. But since that, it was just, it's weird. It's like a double-sided sword because in one side, I could see why that would bother her.
Well, absolutely.
But also, it feels like she did have
respectfully.
an opportunity to be like, no, fuck you, kid. I'm not going to listen to your boundaries. I'm going to dip. But at the same time, I look at Jonah. I'm like, if that's what he wants, he has the right to have or want what he wants. But also, they're stupid. They're just, it's a dumb thing to ask a pro surfer instructor that she has to cover up when she surfs. Granted,
well, I think that's
his thing. It's not.
Yes.
I would never have something like that if I was dating somebody else. But again, I'm not Jonah Hill. I do think where Jonah fucks up a lot is like he's like a big preacher of like therapy and stuff. And it's like
I was gonna say we'll bring up his fucking movie.
Yeah, he made a movie with his therapist. He pushes that whole stuff of like freeing yourself and like mental freedom, and I was all for that. But stuff like that, I'm like, you're kind of putting that girl also in a difficult situation where obviously she wants to be with you, dude. But you're kind of telling her like you have to like strip everything you love to be with Jonah Hill. Which, no offense, but Jonah, you're not Leonardo DiCaprio, brother. Like I'm just saying, like,
you're not everybody's favorite actor.
Now, granted, he has every right to have boundaries. I'm not saying he doesn't.
Yeah, no, everybody has.
They're just stupid.
That's fine. Yeah,
they're just stupid fucking boundaries. They're dumb as shit.
I would argue it and say like, yeah, it's. I don't know if it's out of line boundaries. I don't know if it's too far. It's very dumb wording, and also the sense of, so say Jonah was dating a model. Is he going to tell that model to delete all of her, runway pictures, all her swimsuit pictures, everything? That is her career. That is what she is doing and has been probably doing before she was with you, and what she wants to continue to do. Like, are you going to tell her to delete that? It's same thing. That was an actress. Like,
are you going to make like sex scenes or making out scenes or any scenes like that? Like, that's my thing. That's why I was hard for me to judge that, because I'm like, does he do this with every partner he's with, or was this an isolated incident where he was trying to be control of just her? Because if this is something that he does with, and we're never going to find this out until, maybe until he gets like divorced.
Until this,
is this an isolated incident, or this is just Jonah being Jonah? If that's the case, then maybe that's just who he is, and like maybe that's just, you gotta take it for what it is. You can't change somebody for wanting what they want. Her airing it on social media is where I'm just kind of like, what is the goal are you trying to obtain from this? Because like, it's been 2 years. You didn't drop this stuff when you guys did break up. There's been the 2-year gap of the breakup, and now you're releasing this to everyone. And I'm like, is the goal for everybody to just be like, fuck Jonah and be like, he's canceled now? Or
seems like
be like, look what I went through. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's the bigger part. It's, yes, you're raising awareness for every other woman and man in a, shitty relationship or a controlling relationship and stuff. So that's absolutely awesome of doing that. But at the same time, everybody overnight was like, oh, fuck Jonah and all his, movies, this and that. And I was kind of just like, well, again, one, he's not my favorite actor in any fucking regard, so who gives a shit already? But I was like, well, let's see why. And I was gonna say, this whole situation, I would not say fuck Jonah Hill. Did you hear about the other Jonah Hill kind of thing going on, though, that followed very quickly after this story?
No. I thought it was
Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill, no. Jonah Hill is being accused of forcing himself on, at the time, a 16-year-old. One of the girls from fuck, I swear. We're speaking of Britney. No, Zoe 101. So the show that her sister was on. It's one of the main actresses. Look this shit up. I swear to God.
Oh no.
One of the main actresses says, and this is the story that I read, a party that was thrown at Justin Long's house back, 10 plus years now, because again, the girl was 16 at the time, and Jonah Hill was there, and other actors, and allegedly a bunch of minors as well. And when this girl asked Jonah Hill for a cigarette, and you might be reading it as I'm saying it.
No, I'm reading another headline.
Oh, Jesus, man. Well, tell me that after.
Man.
So this girl asked Jonah for a cigarette. Jonah said, let me go grab one from my car. Comes back up, smokes his when she asks for one. This is what she says. He pushed her against the door and shoved his tongue down her throat. She pushed him off, was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
And he acted like it was nothing. And nothing ever either came of it or nothing was ever said until, years later and shit. But the biggest kicker, and you can read this part too, the lawyer and attorney that Jonah got to represent him going against this case right now is the same lawyer that Bill Cosby used, Mel Gibson used, and a lot of other really credible people.
He's gonna get away with it.
I mean,
maybe.
The fucked up part, and again, in every day and age, innocent until proven guilty. But it's a lot going against him. So now you just read something new. So let's end it on the Jonah Hill.
It's not as bad as that.
Okay. That's probably good then.
I can't say his fucking last name. Jay from This Is the End.
Jay Baruchel or Baruchel.
Yeah,
either way.
He admits that his hatred for Jonah Hill in the movie was actually real. And that the two of them have legitimate beef, and that he was miserable working with Jonah Hill.
What?
So I would like to take my statement
surprising,
the boundary.
Least surprising fucking statement. Well, that's what I said. I said he's not anybody's favorite actor. He's definitely never been mine. So hearing that he was a boundary given dude that, like we said, boundaries or not, everybody is deserving of them and deserves to express that to your partner and everything included. But your boundaries were fucking out of line, bro, because speaking on my relationship, if I told my girlfriend to delete any pictures, that is not a good conversation, because who the fuck am I to say delete something? Even more so if it's something about her career.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Like, that is an argument you do not want to start, because you are not going to win that anytime soon. Even if, and more so, if your name is Jonah fucking Hill. Like,
his boundaries now are starting to reek of red flags more so than like, these are just my boundaries and this is what I want. It's like, no, it sounds like you have a very big control problem where I'm like, now your therapist.
Now that he got more famous, I feel like he has like that control, ego in him. He's like, oh, I was in a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. I was with.
When he's always, ever since he worked the first time with Scorsese, he's felt like I'm like one of like Hollywood's elite. I'm working with Leo. I'm working with Scorsese. I'm like Pesci and De Niro and all them. It's like, you're not though. Like you're casted for who you are, dude. Like, let's be honest.
It goes back also to the James Franco roast when I think it was I can't think of which comedian said it, but they were like, Jonah, a lot of people are gonna forget, or a lot of people are gonna think that. Damn it, I'm gonna butcher the first part. Basically saying like, Jonah, a lot of people are gonna forget about all the things that you've done recently, but a lot of people are always gonna remember that you've become such a big asshole recently. And it's like fucking true now, because like you just said too, you did all these big movies at the time. But like, are you starring in like the next Leo movie? Are you starring alongside De Niro?
He hates it. He hates it. But it's like, let's be honest, Jonah, you're typecasted.
Yep.
I mean, it's the truth. I know you've hated. You've been trying to run. Yeah, you're always going to be that guy, and they're always going to go for that type of guy. It's funny though, because just yesterday I watched a clip of Rogan. Seth Rogen was on that wing show where they eat the fucking like hot ass wings, hot ones.
Yeah.
And they were asking like, who was the hardest or most difficult actor to work with? And he said Jonah. Like he didn't even take a second to think. He was like, Jonah Hill. And he laughs again. They're just like, God damn, like just right off the bat, like
that dick-loving motherfucker.
He's like, you've been working with him since he was a kid, man.
Yeah,
that's wild.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was Now that the more I hear about that, there's probably gonna be more shit too.
There's absolutely going to be more shit. But is it poor? Yeah, I was going to say.
No, it's not.
Poor Jonah? It's
poor Jonah from the aspect that like you idiots in Hollywood that like build your career.
Now we're never going to get
23
or 24 Jump Street. It's just way to go, Jonah.
They'll recast him with another fat guy.
They'll just put Seth Rogen in it.
They'll put Seth Rogen to be Jonah.
We need McLovin back. What are you talking about, guys?
Bro, if Seth Rogen is smart, he's making the Jonah Hill biopic without giving him like anything, and he's playing Jonah.
He's using an AI.
Yeah, make it happen, man. Do it on your own.
He's like, it's okay. I'm using Fat Jonah. It's when we all loved him more. So
that was the best one, the dick loving one.
We're gonna put Jay, all the veiniest dick. You know how much dicks are shaped like food? Like all the best ones.
All of them. Look at my dinosaur dick. Look at all of these.
Found the treasure chest of dicks, man. Veiny
really
ones.
Really was the heyday. The heyday of Jonah.
They're gonna put Jay in a fat suit and they're just gonna make him play Jonah. And we're gonna be like,
that'd be awesome.
We'll take it. Pretty soon, Jonah and what's the other dudes that got canceled? That's part of that group.
Franco.
Yeah, pretty soon, Franco, like Jonah and Franco are gonna have their own podcast talking about how great their careers used to be.
Talking about when they used to act.
Remember when Leo used to love me? It's like,
no.
Like I don't know how Leo's able to hide it. Like, well, Leo's smarter than all you guys. That's
James is just envious of his fucking younger brother still getting acting roles and shit. And he's like, God damn it. It's like the opposite of like the Sheen and Estevez family. Like the younger one finally gets to fucking succeed. He's like, I saw fucking Emilio and I knew I couldn't fucking be him. So had to.
It's like the Jonas brother that nobody knows about that's starting to get like deals. You're just like, they had another brother. Like, what the fuck?
The other Hemsworth.
The fucking instrument. Yeah. Or the Hemsworth. You're like, well, he's not Thor and he's not the other fucker, so we don't need him. Like
the one that can remember what he ate yesterday.
Yeah. You're like, that's
too soon.
Shit.
Damn.
And that's how we end episode 16.
I'm like, did we have any questions?
No, we had no questions. No,
we'll definitely have some questions after this one.
Hey, guys, watch Stars on Mars, guys.
Really?
That.
Like,
I think who's on there?
I know Lance Armstrong's on there. Marshawn Lynch.
I thought
Schwartz is on there, isn't he?
Yeah, Schwartz was on there. He got eliminated. It was hilarious. Like, a lot of people were really like, bad-mouthed him, during the whole entire time when he was there because he was
McLovin already got eliminated too, right?
Yeah,
fucking McLovin, McMuffin.
And I guess who else is in there? Now that we have Marshawn, now we have the truth, Paul Pierce, dog.
Can you vote them out? Because I will vote that motherfucker out. I will call like 1,000 times, bro, to get that piece of shit eliminated.
No, they vote each other out, but it's so funny because they don't obviously every person has like their own, personality,
Yeah.
And so
he should be the exception. Let's send him actually to Mars. And just leave that piece of shit there, fucking shitting his pants in the NBA Finals, fucking asshole. Anyways, guys, this has been Main Street in episode 16. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for joining. As always, comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on the Jonah Hill situation, the Britney versus MB situation, all that stuff. And
Britney versus us situation now. But
the Britney Army? No.
I'm with you.
I'm kidding.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.